Good day guys, my name is Lord Tomo. Welcome to my first ever rambling episode. Essentially, unlike my vlogs and various update videos, it's literally essentially me talking about various Sonic related topics and just giving you my honest to God opinions on them on the spur of the moment. So I don't have anything typed up. It's purely just me having a monologue towards anybody who chooses to watch it, and just giving you my two takes on the subject matter. Of course, it's more or less like if I was to talk to some random person, but opposed to that, it's just me talking to you guys. And today's topic is none other than Sonic the Hedgehog movie, which is more or less forecast to release, unless they push it back or push it forward, 2018. So it is a fair while, and there's absolutely not much information released upon that. So essentially what I wanted to say about that movie is what I would hope the movie to be like. Now, this is based purely on no information other than the fact that I know it's going to be made by Sony, and depending on what you various other companies I would imagine, but depending on who you speak to and depending on what you know about the filming industry, they have more or less, depending like who's the director, a direct definitive direction that they're going for. Now, this movie is, in my opinion, a do or die movie. Now, by that I mean it is, there's my hair. By that I mean it's essentially gonna solidify or pretty much tarnish the Sonic the Hedgehog reputation. Now, I can already forecast this having an absolutely enormous amount of flack from all sides of the Sonic fandom. Like I said, the Sonic fandom isn't a unified concept. It isn't a unified team where everybody cheers hands and holds hands and say hurrah for this. You have various subgroups. Now, unlike other fandoms where people tend to be unified, depends who you talk to. Sonic 1 is, for the better of the word, isn't as unified as most people look. If at all, the fandom in itself has a very stigmatized, bad connotation to it. Regretfully, it is what it is. I'm part of the fandom. I'm not going to say, oh no, I'm definitely not part of the fandom. I'm part of the fandom, so I take the good with the bad. So you take the good with the bad. But essentially, what I would hope this movie to be is definitely not a Smurf-esque movie. Now, if anybody of you have ever seen the Smurf movie or even the Garfield movie, the ones where, well, that being said, it is going to be a hybrid of both, real life character and 3D animation. So it's kind of like the Smurfs, and it's definitely going to be kind of like the Garfield movies and every other 3D hybrids CGI aspect of it. So there is that element. Now, look, I'm going to say this straight out of the bat. I definitely don't want this to be super kiddish. I don't want this specifically designed, and this is weird coming from me because adults are not necessarily going to watch it as much as it is kids. But I definitely don't want this to be a super kiddified movie, designed specifically for kids. Even though the major demographic would be kids in terms of merchandising and all that sort of stuff. I get that. I sympathize with it. I'm totally on board with it. But I don't want it to be I don't want its direction be that. Now, of course, there's definitely been a lot of controversies in the various games that are coming out. So I guess the first major question is what story arc or what storyline is it going to follow? Is it going to follow the games? Is it going to follow the comics? Is it going to follow the various fandom alliteration fanfics, if you can call it that? What direction is it going to aim for? Me personally, although I have specific favorite Sonic the Hedgehog arcs that I particularly am major fond of, I'm thinking from a more broader view. I don't want them to specify or be specific to any story arc in the Sonic game universe or the comics. Why? Because I want something new. Now, as somebody who's been a fan for quite a while, ever since the Mega Drive days or the Genesis, depending on where you're from, I've seen a lot of story arcs, right? You see more in the comics than you actually do in the game. But in terms of the story arcs, you've seen a lot, and you kind of feel like you don't necessarily, me personally, I don't necessarily want to see a repeated story arc, because that's going to cause various issues. I enjoyed those story arcs and the graphics and illustrations based upon its portrayal of how it was released. For example, Sonic Unleashed, I enjoyed the story arc. I really did. People say, oh no, it's the worst game. Well, worst game aside, the story arc is pretty decent, in my opinion, anyway. I personally like the story arc of Sonic and the Secret Wings and Sonic and the Black Knight. Personally, that I thought that was phenomenal. That was great. People are going to argue differently. Everybody has the nicks, everybody has the tax and all that sort of stuff. that being all said, as much as I would love to see them on live TV, I mean live movie based, it's not necessarily something that I could foresee myself actively wanting to go see it. For the simple fact is, I probably will watch anyway, but for the simple fact is, if I actively choose to go watch this movie, it's kind of like reliving a story arc that I've already seen, and I think it's best suited if you don't relive old story arcs, simply because it doesn't bring anything new to the table. I'm always for, and this has always been my stance on anything, but more so in the Sonic universe, I'm always on the stance of trying something new. I hate the repeated formula time and time again. And I know a lot of people are going to argue against that and disagree with me, or Sonic is always meant to be fast. I get that. I'm definitely going to see that in the movie based. But bring something new to the table. Bring something interesting, you know. I can honestly say, and I feel like I'm on the par with this, with most people's opinions, but could you honestly play the same Sonic type games over and over and over again? It will become tedious, mundane, mediocre, and it will just suck the life out of it. I know I'm going on a massive tangent here, but the point I'm really driving at is I would love them to make a story arc that's completely unique and homogenous to the actual core concept of Sonic the Hedgehog. For example, you have Sonic the Hedgehog, you have Dr. Robotnik, you have an impending doom. Dr. Robotnik wants to control the world or control whatever the case may be, and Sonic is there to defeat it. That is the major core mechanics or the core concept of Sonic the Hedgehog. That and speed, of course, and friendship and love and blah blah blah. We get that. So make a storyline based on that. Now, I don't want them to repeat an iteration of a previous another Sonic arc story. May that be the original Sonic the Hedgehog or something of the other nature. So it flips and flops depending on the sort of person you speak to, but generally I'll just want a new story arc. Now, what they may be, I'll leave the creative freedom to them. I don't want them to completely go spastic and create something that's completely just arbitrarily weird, and then you'd be like, what? What's going on here? But I want something that stays true to Sonic the game universe and unique in its own right, simply because of ongoing fans such as myself and all that sort of stuff. I feel like if they're going to make a movie, they're going to try, for whatever reason or another, link it to a basic story arc of the games, and not a fan of that. I mean, I'm going to watch it and all. I'll probably enjoy it if, you know, pretty blinded with the whole fandom of Sonic. But that being said, it's not something... Man, it's hot in here. It's my head just shifts all over the place. It's not necessarily something that I would really hope the direction of the movie to go. We'll see what happens when more information comes out. Now, in terms of characters, what sort of characters would I would love to see? Definitely Sonic. You can't have a Sonic the Hedgehog movie without Sonic. So Sonic is going to be a key factor. Now, Dr. Robotnik. Now, people are going to have various debates on what iteration of Dr. Robotnik are they going to be. Is it going to be 3D? Is it going to be humanoid? That's a tough one, because in the games and in the comics, he's always been animated as being cartoonish 3D, but I generally feel they're going to make him human, because he is a human character exactly in the games and whatnot in the actual movie. So the only 3D aspects would probably be Sonic. They're probably going to have Tails, Knuckles, and best be luck, they're probably going to have Amy Rose. Now, I feel like they're going to throw in another character. For whatever reason, I don't know why, I honestly to God feel they're going to throw in some random left-wing character that's going to be the pivot point of driving the whole narrative forward. I have absolutely no zero foundation, and if it comes true when the movie comes out and the trailer comes out and all that sort of stuff, I'll be the first to make a rambling video and say, hey guys, check out this video, yeah, it was spot on. For whatever reason, in my minds of minds, I truly believe there's going to be like a random, like a stick to character, right, where it's just going to drive the narrative, like, oh, this character is probably going to be a unique superhero-esque sort of creature that is the key to salving humanity, and Dr. Robotnik wants her, and the Freedom Fighters, or no, Sonic the Hedgehog and his crew has to stop her, blah 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 blah, and that character needs to ascend to a high being in morality and finding her true potential, blah, or, you know, the standard, you know, child-esque sort of themes that normally follow through the Sonic games and whatnot. Nothing bad from it. I feel like that's going to be a part of it. I don't know why. It's just... what's your thoughts on it? Could be wrong, could be right. I don't know. That's how it's going to go, guys. So, look. That's the general vibe that I get. What's people's opinions on that? I'm not too sure. Would I care? Look, if they made an accurate modern version of Dr. Robotnik, I'll have absolutely no issue, because Dr. Robotnik has gone through a lot of alliteration. It's kind of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where they've made it its own in terms of the movies, and I want that to be partly in the actual game, not game, in the movie itself. Sonic, I want them to be as true as possible to the actual version of the game. And do you want modern or classical? Boom. Nothing against Boom personally, not big Boom fan. I think I want the modern version of the modern version of Sonic and the modern version of Knuckles and Tails. You know what I would love? I can actually foresee this. Knuckles is going to be the comedic character. He's doofus. He's the one that goes, does something stupid, and everybody goes, oh my god, it's so funny. Tails is also going to be the intellectual. Sonic is going to be the smart, woody, cool, he's got to save the day sort of character. So I have no issues. Knuckles, I hope they do it really good. If they don't have Knuckles in it, I'll be really, really annoyed for some reason. Because I get it, you know, but everybody knows the four major characters. Robotnik, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and I guess you could argue Amy, but I'm not a big fan of Amy. I'm gonna get flack for that. So that being said, I want the modern version of all the characters. I think they'll be suited in the universe, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna have something on the relation of Station Square. Now, I know for sure if I hope that this movie comes up, but I know for sure if they ever make a movie, they're gonna throw back so much cameos, so much Easter eggs pertaining to the actual games and whatnot, like the Easter eggs, the springs, the boxes, the calcium. I think they will. I don't know. I hope they make this into a franchise series, because I don't want the first movie Sonic becoming Super Sonic. I will be really irritated by that, simply because I feel that's a cop-out of form. Because how do you ascend beyond that? You know, unless you go hypersonic, for those who know about hypersonic, and then you have Sonic Dark Spin, if anybody knows about that, and yeah, Sonic Super Caliber Sonic from the Black Knights. He has various super forms, but I truly don't want them to have a supersonic version in the first movie, simply because I feel like he can stand on his own 2 feet. And if that movie becomes successful, God forbid, I hope he does, and they make a new one, it would lead on to something more into that. It would lead on to something of the nature where he becomes supersonic, and then there will be Silver and Shadow. I feel Shadow is going to be in it somewhere. I don't know why. I feel like Shadow is going to be a pivotal point either in the main canon of the movie, or is just going to be like kind of like stay after the credit, and then you have a picture of Shadow, and then you'll have the story arc of Shadow the Hedgehog and all that stuff. So I think Shadow is a popular character. I truly have no issue with Shadow the Hedgehog. I feel he's a bit too angsty for my taste. He's powerful, he's cool, he's awesome. Thank you, man. I love the guy. But Knuckles, my boy. I love Knuckles. That's always been the case. So, those are the characters. Now, my general thoughts on the whole possibility of the hybrid between 3D and CGI. Look, I feel that I think it's needed in the same way that it's not needed. I know that sounds extremely convoluted and confusing, but hear me out. I feel that it's one of those things that it's needed in today's modern market. How do you capitalize on the success on a IP, for example Sonic and all that sort of stuff? You try to make it relatable to an extent to our core audience and extend the audience. I feel like it makes it completely CGI, that it would negate a lot of the adult viewers and they won't necessarily want to watch it. Whereby I feel like the direction they're aiming for is by making half hybrid CGI and live action is trying to incorporate as much as the audience as possible. And I can guarantee the first movie is going to pay a lot of homage to the original Sonic the Hedgehog characters and whatnot. So I know that's definitely going to be a big thing. So I think, look, if it was up to me, I would love a full CGI, movie based. I would love it, That being said, I see that the market. I've had discussions with other people about this. They're not a big fan of the whole hybrid version, especially my brother. My brother's extremely vocal about this sort of stuff. But I feel in general terms, it's a necessity to make it the success of the movie. And look, if it generates the success of the movie to make more sequels and prequels and all that sort of stuff, I'm up for it, because I truly believe in the success, and I truly hope in the heart of my heart that this series becomes quite large. I want more fans to be part of this fandom. I don't want people just to see us as, pardon the language, you know, not the most. I don't want us to be like, oh, he's a Sonic fan, yeah, you know. Not that I care what people think ultimately, but I want this to be where everybody can be like, hey, you're a Sonic fan, you know. Oh, you're this, you know. Like before, nobody cared about anime, and now everybody's like part of anime. Nobody cared about DC and Marvel. They were like, oh, he's into Marvel, he's into DC. But now everybody's just like, oh yeah, I'm a DC fan. People who've never read comics, not that I care, but I want it to be. I would love it to be like that, so I can, because this is partly because of my own life experience. Now, most of the people that I talk to Sonic related, my immediate close friends, they know of Sonic. They don't necessarily invest enough time or anything about the characters, the extended universes and all that stuff. And look, I truly respect that. They have their own fandom. They're like Halo. I know nothing about Halo as much as the broad concept of it. But that being said, I'd love to talk with people who know a lot more about the characters universe, and we can actually converse and have debates and discussions and all that sort of stuff. I would love to have that. People that just like come in and say, hey, what are you into? Oh, the classic Sonic. I'm like, how do you remember, you know, Sonic, you know, spinball? And they're like, oh, you know, I want to have those sort of conversations, because I've never had it, you know, out of the years that I've ever had, it's always been a monologue with my friends where I would talk about, hey, this game, blah, 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 and they're like, oh, they, you know, they invest their time in hearing me out, but they, you know, you can't expand on something you don't necessarily know. You can just ask basic, mediocre questions, and it is what it is, and I'm not, you know, hating on that, but I would love for it to be. That being said, I hope that this movie becomes that, you know, where it brings in a lot of people. It may not at the start, who knows, it really depends what happens, but I would love it to be that sort of discussion. Villain wise, obviously it's going to be, I feel like the first movie is definitely going to have just exclusively Dr. Robotnik and his various robots trying to, you know, destroy, conquer the world, you know, that's that sort of stuff. A part of me wants it to go a little deeper and a little darker. I wanted to bring in another darker character where you're just like, whoa, what's going on here, you know what I mean? They've done that in the comics, and they've done a few of it in the actual games like Sonic Heroes, Sonic Adventure 2 and that sort of stuff, so I would love it. But we'll see what happens. But those are my general thoughts. If you listen to them, awesome. Let me know what your thoughts on it on the comments below. What you would like in the movie, what you would hate in the movie, what's your general concern? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Feedback, people. That's all I ever wanted, you know. I don't want to be a big crazy YouTuber or anything like that, but I definitely, you know, would love the interaction, simply because that's how ideas get created. And if enough of us, enough of us are heard, hey, that's something. You know, guys, leave comments below. Let me know your thoughts, and if you have a topic for me to discuss, hey, let me know. I'm more happy. I'm definitely gonna make more of these. I enjoy rambling, even though it may not necessarily be coherent as much as most other people. Jump cut. Take care, speed on, peace.